While Europe and America debate electrification and autonomy, a whisper of precision is emerging from the other side of the world that will soon become a roar. The Japanese industry, famous for its relentless reliability, has not stood still. For 2026, they have prepared an arsenal of trucks that combine their legendary durability with technology so advanced and pragmatic that it is about to shake the foundations of the global market. Today, from number 12 to number 1, we reveal the list of the 12 Japanese trucks that have the entire competition nervously reviewing their plans. The invasion of silent efficiency is underway. Number 12, Hino 300 Series Hybrid 2026. Imagine the heartbeat of a modern city. It's an irregular rhythm of sudden acceleration, constant braking, and long pauses at idle. For a conventional diesel delivery truck, this rhythm is torture, a machine for burning fuel uselessly and wearing out brakes and clutches. Now imagine a machine that not only survives this rhythm, but dances to it, extracting energy from each movement to power the next. That machine exists, and it's called the Hino 300 Series Hybrid. For more than a decade, this light truck has been the undisputed emperor of hybrid urban delivery in demanding markets such as Japan, Australia, and much of South America. Its philosophy is a manifesto of Japanese common sense. Instead of complicating things with complex systems, it uses a robust Hino 4-cylinder diesel engine and an electric motor that work in parallel, connected by an ingenious clutch and planetary gear system. The magic happens when braking. While a normal truck converts its kinetic energy into useless heat through the brake pads, the Hino Hybrid converts it into electricity. A motor generator captures it and stores it in a compact and reliable nickel-metal hydride battery pack. But for 2026, Hino is not resting on its laurels. The upgrade promises to be a quantum leap. There is speculation about the introduction of higher-density lithium-ion batteries, which will not only reduce weight but also enable fully electric driving modes for longer distances, perhaps exceeding 1.5 kilometers. This is no minor detail. In city centers moving towards zero-emission zones, the ability to enter, maneuver, and exit in complete silence and without emissions will be a requirement, not an advantage. The management electronics will also take a leap forward. The system will learn from regular routes, anticipating where the next traffic lights or traffic jams will be in order to optimize the flow of energy between diesel and electric power down to the last millimeter. In the cab, connectivity will be total. Not only will the driver have a screen showing real-time energy distribution, but the vehicle will also send anonymized data to the Hino cloud, contributing to a global HL brain that continuously refines the efficiency algorithms of the entire global fleet. This truck isn't looking for headlines, it's looking for the lowest possible fuel bill. And in a business where margins are as thin as paper, that obsessive quest is what keeps competing fleet managers awake at night. It's proof that the energy transition can be gradual, smart, and above all, profitable from day one. Number 11, Isuzu Giga Update 2026. Now, let's move away from the polished asphalt and into the territory of dry mud, loose stones, and roads that are more of a concept than a reality. Here, the rules are different. Raw power matters, but durability is everything. And in this realm, one name resonates with the force of an anvil striking iron: Isuzu Giga. This is not a truck, it is an institution of resilience. Its chassis, made of high-strength steel side members, seems designed to withstand not only the weight of the load, but the punishment of decades of abuse. Its axles, its suspension systems, everything is oversized for one purpose: to survive. Its engines, often the reliable 15-litre 6WG1 or the more modern 6WX1, are legendary for their tolerance. They can run on fuels of varying quality, in dust-laden atmospheres, and in temperature ranges that would make a European engine cry. The Giga doesn't accelerate fast, but it drags mountains without flinching. The 2026 update understands that in the modern world, brute force is no longer enough. It needs intelligence. Isuzu will integrate what they call the next-generation fleet management system, a connectivity suite that will transform the Giga from a behemoth into a rolling data center. Sensors in the chassis will constantly monitor metal stress and fatigue levels, predicting when reinforcement or servicing will be needed before a crack appears. The tires, always a critical point on uneven terrain, will have pressure and temperature sensors that will alert drivers to impending punctures or dangerous overheating. But the most profound change will be in engine management. To comply with increasingly stringent emissions regulations without losing its famous reliability, Isuzu will implement a more efficient and, crucially, self-cleaning exhaust after-treatment system. Software will monitor the condition of the particulate filter and perform active regeneration only when strictly necessary and under optimal conditions, avoiding the clogging problems that have plagued other trucks in low RPM working environments. In addition, the telemetry system will allow fleet managers in the office to see, in real time, if a driver is overusing the engine, using incorrect gears, or braking abruptly, enabling immediate remote training. This transformation of the Giga into a connected, intelligent machine, without sacrificing an ounce of its robustness, is a clear message to manufacturers such as Mercedes, Volvo, and Scania in the construction segment. Japan is not only competing on price and durability, it is now also competing on management technology, and it is doing so in the toughest markets on the planet, where an operational advantage translates into million-dollar contracts. Number 10. Mitsubishi Fuso Super Great 2026. On the long and often lonely highways connecting Asian megacities, there is a silhouette that has become a fixture of the landscape. The Mitsubishi Fuso Super Great is the gentleman of the Pacific Highway. For years, it has been the preferred choice for long-distance transport in Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Australia. Its success was not based on maximum power or luxury cabins, but on an unbeatable trifecta: exceptional fuel efficiency, ridiculously low maintenance costs, and a cabin designed for drivers who spend weeks away from home. It was the truck of the pragmatist, the owner-operator who calculated every litre of diesel. By 2026, the Super Great is poised to take a leap that will merge the best of both worlds. Under the full tutelage of Daimler Truck, this model will receive the biggest update in its history, becoming the flagship of a new era for Fuso. The change will be more profound than a restyling. The platform itself is expected to evolve, incorporating the group's modular design principles. The truck's front end will adopt aerodynamics clearly inspired by the Actros, with C-shaped LED headlights and an active grille that opens and closes to manage airflow and cooling. This detail alone could improve aerodynamic efficiency by a significant percentage. But the heart of the change will be under the hood. It is very likely that the new Super Great will abandon Fuso's own engines in favor of Mercedes-Benz's renowned OM family of diesel engines, probably the OM 470 or 471. These engines, coupled with the 12-speed power-shift automated transmission, offer fuel consumption and smoothness levels that will put the Super Great on a par with the best European tractors. However, Japanese ingenuity will remain in the application. Fuso is expected to optimize these engines and electronic management for the specific fuels and climatic conditions of the Asia-Pacific region, while maintaining a service network and spare parts catalog that prioritize accessibility and low cost. The cab will also undergo a revolution. Rumors suggest a completely new interior, with a generational leap in material quality, sound insulation, and space. Mercedes's multifunction steering wheel and digital instrument panel are likely to be adopted, but with an infotainment system adapted to local languages and applications. The goal is clear: to create a truck that offers the performance and comfort of a European, but with the operating economy and local adaptation of a Japanese. For international fleets operating on routes between Europe and Asia, or for those simply looking for the best tool for the job, this fusion represents an almost irrefutable option. It is the perfect bridge between two philosophies, and its arrival will force European manufacturers to rethink their pricing and service strategies in markets they believed they had conquered. Number 9. UD Trucks Krona 2026. The world of transportation is not just about transcontinental journeys or muddy construction sites. It is, for the most part, the constant flow of goods within regional arteries, from distribution centers to stores, from ports to industrial parks. In this medium distribution segment, competition is fierce and decisions are made on decimal points in the cost per kilometer. Here, the UD Trucks Krona has carved out a reputation as the thinker, the truck that seems to intuitively understand how to get the most out of every day. Its compact yet spacious design, fuel-efficient engines, and ease of driving have made it a favorite. For 2026, UD Trucks, taking full advantage of its membership in the Volvo Group, is set to redefine what a medium-duty distribution truck means. The new generation of the Krona will not be an evolution, it will be a reinvention based on the group's modular platform. This will give it immediate access to technologies that were previously exclusive to premium vehicles. The most striking feature will be the cab. A completely new design is expected, with bolder aesthetics and ergonomics inspired by the most advanced studies on driver fatigue. The driver's seat could integrate Volvo's digital display system, showing not only the instruments, but also navigation information, vehicle status, and fleet communications in a unified and intuitive interface. In terms of propulsion, the Krona will offer a range of options that reflect the energy transition. The base will continue to be a state-of-the-art, ultra-clean and efficient 5-cylinder diesel engine. But the big news will be the availability of a battery-powered electric powertrain derived directly from the Volvo FL Electric. This electric Krona would be aimed at urban and municipal fleets with fixed routes, offering zero emissions and drastically reduced maintenance costs. In addition, UD Trucks is likely to explore a more sophisticated parallel hybrid option than Hino's, possibly with electric driving capability for short distances. Connectivity will be its backbone. The truck will be permanently linked to the Volvo Group's digital platform, enabling dynamic logistics, predictive maintenance based on actual usage, and full integration with warehouse management systems. The new Krona will no longer be just a delivery vehicle, it will be the smart node of a supply network. This holistic, HY approach, combining propulsion options for every need with deep digital integration, shows how the Japanese, through global alliances, are absorbing the best of all engineering cultures to create unbeatable products in their segment. Number 8. Nissan N500 Atlas 2026. In the finest fabric of the economy, at the last link in the chain where the product finally reaches the consumer, an anonymous hero operates. The Nissan NT500, revered in key markets such as Atlas, is the embodiment of hard work and consistency. It is the truck you see delivering gas bottles, supplying small family stores, acting as a platform for public services or urban cleaning. Its value lies in one supreme virtue: absolute simplicity. Mechanically simple, easy to repair even with basic knowledge, and with a stamina that borders on the mythical. It has been the workhorse that has driven the microeconomy of half the world. Nissan's strategy for 2026 with this icon is a master of duality. On the one hand, they understand that their diesel customer base, often in developing economies, will not disappear. For them, they will introduce a thoroughly modernized NT500 diesel. A new, cleaner, and more efficient engine that will comply with Euro 6 or equivalent standards without the complexity and cost of heavy truck systems. The cab will receive a safety boost with a reinforced structure, driver airbag, and basic but effective stability systems. It will be the same trusted truck but safer and more environmentally friendly. But the masterstroke is on the other flank. Nissan will finally launch the all-electric NT500. Leveraging its global alliance with Renault and Mitsubishi and the group's battery expertise, it will create an electric vehicle with low acquisition and operating costs. This electric NT500 will not aspire to exorbitant ranges. It will seek to be the perfect tool for predictable urban routes. Charged overnight at the company's facilities, it could cover a full day of deliveries in a large city without any problems. For municipal fleets, urban parcel services, or last-mile logistics companies operating in low-emission zones, it will be the economical and practical solution. The genius of this dual strategy is that it covers the entire spectrum. Nissan is not forcing a transition, it is facilitating it. It offers a path to modern diesel for those who are not ready, and an open door to electrification for those who want or need to take the plunge. This pragmatism, this ability to serve two radically different markets with derivatives of the same legendary model, is a reality check for manufacturers who are betting everything on a Sing. It shows that understanding the market is not about imposing a vision, but about offering solutions for every reality. Number 7. Toyota Denso Fuel Cell Truck Prototype 2026. We come to the end of this chapter with a look at the distant horizon, but also with the firmest commitment. The hydrogen fuel cell truck prototype jointly developed by Toyota and Denso is not a vehicle for 2026. It is a statement of intent for 2035. It is tangible proof that Japanese industry is not simply reacting to global trends, but is investing trillions of yen in shaping the future in its own image. Toyota has been developing fuel cell technology for more than 30 years, an obsession that culminated in the Mirai. Denso, for its part, is one of the world's largest component manufacturers, with engineering and mass production capabilities that few can match. The prototype they will showcase will most likely be a modern heavy tractor. Its defining feature will be the absence of a large battery bank and instead, the presence of high-pressure cryogenic hydrogen tanks. The fuel cell, a device that combines hydrogen from the tank with oxygen from the air to generate electricity, will power electric motors on the axles. The only byproduct is pure water. The advantages over a battery-powered electric vehicle for long-distance heavy transport are theoretically overwhelming. Refueling takes minutes, not hours. The range can be 1,000 kilometers or more without compromising payload, as hydrogen is much lighter than the equivalent tons of batteries. The prototype will serve to demonstrate technical feasibility in real-world conditions, testing the durability of the stack, the efficiency of the system, and the safety of the tanks. But its goal is much bigger than technical. It is political and economic. By showcasing a functional and advanced hydrogen truck, Toyota and Denso are sending a message to their own governments and those around the world: invest in green hydrogen infrastructure. We are ready with the product. It is a move to create a market, not to serve it. The mere existence of this prototype, backed by two such heavyweight conglomerates, forces all other players in the industry, from Bosch to Cummins, from Volvo to Daimler, to keep their hydrogen programs active and well-funded. It is a technological deterrent. It tells those who are betting everything on batteries: we have an ace up our sleeve, and it's a technology in which we are world leaders. That's why, even though it's a prototype, it deserves this spot. It represents the strategic depth of Japanese industry. They are not content with winning the battle of the present. They are sowing the seeds to dominate the war of the future, whatever the energy battlefield that ultimately emerges. These six are already a formidable challenge, but Japan is saving its heavy artillery for the second half. The next 6 trucks are not just efficient or reliable, they are pure disruptors, models that attack key segments with a philosophy that the West did not see coming. The real competition, the one that is truly frightening, begins now. Number 6. Hino ZEV 2026. The leap to electrification in the heavy distribution segment, which moves containers from ports to logistics centers or supplies large supermarkets, has been slow and hesitant. The reason is weight. The batteries needed for useful range take up precious cargo space, throwing the economic equation off balance. Hino, with the ZEV, seems ready to solve this dilemma once and for all. This will not be just another electric vehicle. It will be the heavy-duty electric workhorse that the global market has been waiting for, and its secret weapon could be the most anticipated technology of the decade: solid-state batteries. Unlike conventional lithium-ion batteries, which use a liquid electrolyte, solid-state batteries use a solid electrolyte. This brings revolutionary advantages for heavy transport. First, radically higher energy density. It is said that they could store twice as much energy in the same space and weight, or the same amount in half the space. For the Hino ZEV, this would translate into a real-world range of 300 to 400 kilometers on a full charge, without compromising payload capacity. Second, superior intrinsic safety. With no flammable liquids, the risk of fire due to thermal runaway is drastically reduced. And third, longer life and ultra-fast charging capability, withstanding extreme charging powers without degradation. The Hino ZEV would be built around this technology. It would be a 3 or 4 axle rigid truck with an aerodynamic yet functional design, where aerodynamics is no longer just an efficiency bonus but a necessity to stretch every kilometer of precious battery power. The powertrain would be purely electric, with motors on the rear axles, offering instant torque perfect for heavy load starts. The thermal management of the batteries would be a complex engineering system, ensuring that they operate at their optimum range in both extreme cold and desert heat. But Hino's masterstroke will be industrialization. As part of the Toyota Group, it will have access to the supply chain and future solid-state gigafactories. The message to the market is clear. We are not only developing the technology of the future, we have the capacity to produce it at scale and at a cost that will eventually rival diesel. The ZEV is not an experiment. It is an announcement that Japan wants to lead the electrification of heavy goods transport and has the technological arsenal to do so. Number 5. Isuzu Elf EV Long Range 2026. While the Hino ZEV attacks the heavy-duty segment, Isuzu launches its own poisoned dart at the very heart of urban diesel, the legendary Isuzu Elf, known in some markets as the N-Series. This light truck is arguably the world's best-selling commercial vehicle. Its diesel version is the backbone of millions of small and medium-sized businesses. By 2026, Isuzu will introduce an electric version that will not be a niche alternative, but a deliberate and massive attempt to dethrone its own diesel sibling in the urban environment. The key will be in the words, long range. Isuzu understands that range anxiety is the biggest barrier to electric adoption, even on urban routes. Therefore, this new generation of the LFEV will not settle for the 150 kilometers of its predecessors. It will aim for a real range of 300 kilometers or more. To achieve this, Isuzu will use a state-of-the-art lithium-ion battery pack with chemistry optimized for energy density and durability in daily charging cycles. Aerodynamics, although not the main factor in a cab-over truck, will be refined, and auxiliary systems such as steering and air conditioning will be highly efficient electric systems. But the real genius of the long-range ELFEV will be its integration into a business ecosystem. Isuzu will not just sell a truck, it will offer a complete package that includes route studies to ensure sufficient range, charging solutions for the customer's depot, from wall boxes to fast chargers, and management software that optimizes charging during off-peak hours to reduce the electricity bill. The total cost of ownership will be its main selling point. Isuzu will demonstrate with data that, although the initial purchase price is higher, the savings in fuel, almost zero maintenance, no oil changes, filters, clutch, etc., and possible urban tax exemptions will make the LFEV cheaper than a diesel within 3 or 4 years. By attacking its own best-selling model with a viable and economically sensible electric alternative, Isuzu is doing something that few manufacturers dare to do. It is cannibalizing its own present market to ensure its dominance in the future. It is a risky and bold move that, if successful, could trigger a domino effect in the electrification of light transport worldwide. Number 4. Mitsubishi Fuso eCanter FCEV 2026. In the spectrum of alternative propulsion, there is a gap between pure battery electric, ideal for short, fixed routes, and diesel, king of long distance and flexibility. In that gap, Mitsubishi Fuso, with the support of Daimler, sees an opportunity for hydrogen. The eCanter FCEV will be its workhorse in this new frontier. It is not a question of replacing the battery electric eCanter, but rather complementing it with a solution for those urban and regional delivery operations that require more flexibility, have less time to recharge, or need to cover longer distances in a single shift. The philosophy behind the eCanter FCEV is that of an electric vehicle with an onboard generator. Instead of a large battery, it will incorporate a medium-sized hydrogen fuel cell and a smaller buffer battery bank. The fuel cell would convert hydrogen stored in high-pressure tanks into electricity to charge the battery and power the electric motors. The operational advantage is clear. On a mixed city and highway route, the truck could cover its first 50 kilometers in the city using only the battery, silently and without emissions. Upon reaching the highway, the fuel cell would activate, generating electricity to maintain momentum and slowly recharge the battery, allowing for a total range of around 450 kilometers. Most importantly, refueling with hydrogen takes minutes, not hours. The 2026 eCanter FCEV will be a large-scale demonstration vehicle. Mitsubishi Fuso will deploy it in pilot fleets in cities such as Tokyo, Berlin, and New York, which are investing in hydrogen infrastructure. The goal will be to collect real-world data on fuel cell wear, hydrogen consumption under different conditions, and acceptance by drivers and fleet managers. It is a strategic move to position Fuso, and by extension the Daimler Group, as a leader in this technology before it becomes mainstream. By offering a zero-emissions without waiting solution, the eCanter FCEV targets a premium customer segment within the delivery sector, those for whom downtime is the #1 enemy. It is the spearhead of an offensive that says, the future is not just battery or diesel, there is a third way, and we are building the vehicles to take it. Number 3. UD Trucks Quester 2026 New Generation. Mitsubishi Fuso has the super great for Asia, but the Volvo Group has a global horse in its Japanese stable, the UD Trucks Quester. Designed specifically for emerging and high-growth markets such as India, South Africa, the Middle East and Latin America, the Quester has been a success by offering Volvo robustness at a competitive price. By 2026, the new generation of the Quester will cease to be an economical option and become a global disruptor in long-distance transport. The change will be driven by Euro 7 regulations, whose spectre looms over the industry. Rather than seeing it as a threat, UD Trucks will use it as a springboard. The new generation of the Quester will debut a completely new family of engines designed from the ground up to meet and exceed these emission limits efficiently. These engines, likely 11 and 13 litres, will incorporate such advanced after-treatment technology that they will reduce NOx and particulate emissions to near undetectable levels, but they will do so with reliability and maintenance costs that will be their main selling point. The keyword will be extended range, not in terms of electricity, but in terms of service. The intervals between oil changes and major overhauls will be radically extended, further reducing the total cost of ownership. But the disruption will not be mechanical alone. The new Quester will adopt the cab architecture and electronics of the Volvo Group's new generation of trucks. This means a generational leap in safety, with emergency braking, stability control, and driver fatigue alert systems that will be standard in a segment where they were previously unattainable luxuries. Connectivity will be another pillar. Through the group's digital platform, fleet managers in Dubai, Sao Paulo, or Mumbai will have the same level of information and control over their Questers as a European manager over his Volvos. This democratization of high technology is what makes it disruptive. The new Quester will not only compete with other low-cost trucks, it will put pressure directly on premium European brand tractors in markets where price is key. It will offer 80% of the technology and safety of a Volvo or Mercedes at a significantly lower price and with the UD service network. It is the truck that can break the established hierarchy in the world's most dynamic and populous markets. Number 2. New Autonomous Highway Truck Toyota Hino Isuzu Consortium 2026. Here we leave the realm of conventional trucks and enter the territory of science fiction made reality. The consortium formed by Toyota, Hino and Isuzu is not developing a single truck. It is creating a Level 4 autonomous driving platform specifically for highways. This is not a research project. It is an industrial product that they intend to have operational in specific logistics corridors in Japan and possibly the United States by 2026. The Japanese philosophy applied to autonomy is, once again, pragmatic and scalable. Instead of seeking total autonomy in any environment, Level 5, a distant goal fraught with legal uncertainties, they are focusing on the most profitable and controllable use case: highway driving. Their system would allow a truck, once on the access ramp to a certified highway, to activate autonomous mode. A complex network of high-definition LiDAR sensors, long-range radar, and computerized cameras would take control, maintaining the lane, safe distance, and overtaking completely automatically. The driver could rest, perform administrative tasks, or simply act as a supervisor. As the exit approached, the system would return control to the driver for complex maneuvers on urban roads. The disruption of this platform is both economic and social. For fleets, it means the possibility of operating their trucks 24 hours a day on long stretches of highway, with a driver resting in the cab, multiplying asset productivity and reducing costs associated with driving hour limits. For society, it promises a dramatic reduction in accidents caused by fatigue or distraction on the road. But the real impact is strategic. By bringing three giants together in this consortium, Japan is standardizing autonomous technology for its major manufacturers. This reduces development costs, accelerates implementation, and creates a unified technology block that will be very difficult for Western manufacturers, who often work alone or with weaker alliances, to challenge. It is a nationwide chess move to secure leadership in the next great transportation revolution. Number 1. Kaizen Project Global Modular Platform 2026 Toyota Hino. And we come to the apex, the very heart of the Japanese strategy. Project Kaizen, named after the philosophy of continuous improvement, is not a truck. It is the mother of all trucks. It is the global modular architecture that Toyota and Hino are jointly developing, and that will begin to materialize in production vehicles by 2026. This platform is the holy grail of automotive engineering, a single chassis skeleton, cab structure, and electrical network that can accept, with minimal modifications, 4 different types of powertrains: a state-of-the-art diesel engine, a parallel hybrid system, a pure battery electric powertrain, or a hydrogen fuel cell. The implications of this are enormous. For manufacturers, it means the end of the nightmare of having to develop and produce completely different assembly lines for each type of powertrain. Manufacturing efficiency skyrockets and with it, profitability. For customers, it means unprecedented freedom of choice. A fleet could purchase trucks that are identical in appearance and functionality, but some with diesel for remote routes, others electric for city driving, and others hydrogen for long distances, all with the same cab, the same controls, and the same service network. For the market, it means that the energy transition will no longer be a war of religious beliefs or technologic. Toyota and Hino are not betting on a winning horse. They are building the stable that will house them all. The Kaizen project is the ultimate disruption because it attacks the industry's very business model. It turns uncertainty about the future into a competitive advantage. Whatever technology governments impose or customers prefer, they will have the platform ready to mass produce it, at low cost and with legendary Japanese reliability. It is a shield against the future and a sword to conquer the present. Because of its ambition, scale and potential to redefine the industry over the next 3 decades, Project Kaizen deservedly ranks number 1. It is not a truck that scares the competition. It is the factory of the future that leaves them speechless.